Chewy, would you mind being the DJ? Because last time it worked so well. How do I get GroovyBot in here, by the way? Did we just say play in the Stewards channel?
Yeah, he just pops in when he's requested, like a genie.
Ooh. Okay. Can I ask?
Can I get a quick temperature check?
For what?
Funky.
For me, yeah.
Funky, disco. Okay, perfect.
Upbeat but cool. we have to keep everyone awake in this sprint planning and excited. All right.
Do we record these? Oh yeah? You're going for it, Seth?
Cool. I'm doing normal recording now, just in case like Pawa do something weird. And it's also easier like to upload, so yeah.
Nice. Just in case Pablo does something weird? Do we name our bot Pablo?
Oh, no, Pawa, I was thinking. Like, on Omega call, he was doing weird stuff, and on another call, it was on Hatcher Outrage. I missed those. So, like when people is in silence for like a short period of time, he just leave. It's,
Rage quit. We need to lower the rage quit percent on the bot, man.
Exactly.
All right, I misread Livia's message. She's doing the TE Academy now, and she's going to leave that early to join the top voted Params party we're having this evening. All right, so then let me ask a question. Does anyone need a few minutes to update their issues, or should we just jump right in?
I could use 5 minutes.
Who wants 10 minutes? 10 minutes it is.
Hey Chewy, I made some like comms related issues. Should I assign you, or is putting the comms tag enough?
Both if you can, please.
Okay. I just don't want like you to feel like you have to do it, but it's like just to bring awareness.
No, it's fine. I need to be friends with the board. I do need to develop a friendship at some point. Like, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'll just assign you to every comms issue, but know that if you're assigned, that means you could definitely like just unassign yourself and find someone else to take it.
So what I've been doing is I tag the working group, and usually I tag it for next sprint. And in the body, I might call out to someone like, "Hey, Chewy, is this for you?" or something like that.
Okay.
And that way, it doesn't just all get assigned to one like the steward of the group.
Like,
person in the
to
group.
be honest, Tom, and I really hope it's not a problem, but like tags haven't really been working for me. So like if there's like if you want to put me on it, like probably assigning me would be. I'm sorry, it's just like it's easier for me to follow it.
Yeah, I understand definitely. When I first started, we had like 2, 3, 4 people assigned to every issue, and then just issues didn't get done because they were assigned to everyone. So we sort of made the decision that every issue will have one person, and it's that person who's like, I'm going to get this done. I might need Nate and Zeb and Tamara, but I am the one responsible person to make sure it gets done. So we've been experimenting with like tagging people and encouraging, the use of github.com/notifications. I definitely agree. It's not as easy. I kind of wish there was like, there's like a little more, there's like one more thing that we could assign people to, which is like the person assigned and then the people that need to be informed. So you could like, I wish there was like those 2 categories. So you're like, the responsible person and then the informed people. And, you know,
So in my use case, it's like I do want Chewy to kind of be assigned to it, to delegate it, right? So it's like, okay, I'm assigning you Chewy, but then you unassign yourself and find someone to do it, and it's like the first step of the issue.
Yeah, that there are specific issues where my role is gonna be delegate, not close the issue. So that's
yeah. But
that like, I mean, that makes sense for me, but
yeah, it makes sense. But I think the point that Griff is making is that then you would unassign yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And the only person assigned to the issue would be the person responsible to close the issue. And I don't think that, I feel like that doesn't actually meet what you were saying works better for you, which I totally agree. Like, I want to make like a feature request to ZenHub to say, can we have one other category, which is like people that are need to be informed, so that it appears when they, you know, on their own personal ZenHub, when you just pick, you know, what you're looking for, or who, in this case, it's like assigned.
initially assigned, and then unassign me once I found like the way to follow that through. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll totally work.
Thank you, Chewy, for being a DJ and having these discussions and managing your issues on GitHub. Right.
I don't know about the time, but if we need to get started, then we could start with transparency. I also prepared the word like before legal, so it's just if we're in a hurry, like if we're just here, look, no, people are updating the issues, we can just get started.
I'm happy to get started with transparency. I don't think we're in so much of a rush, to be honest, because Olivia can't make it, Juan Carlos. So I just feel like, but let's get started. Hold on. Actually, before we get started, I want to give everyone some, yeah, okay, let's do that. And I'll come back to the new issue templates, which kind of addresses what Chewy was saying too, actually, or like the hope is that it'll address this, who to assign what to. So let's go to transparency. Cool. What do you got, transparency?
Okay, yeah, we normally we don't have bi-weekly calls, but next week we will be working on the a process to make all the credentials more transparent to the community. We already have drafted something, but we added like a spreadsheet with all the credentials, who are held and everything. But the thing is, like, now we wanna draft this process. Write it, and then maybe upload it on the Gitbook or some place where people can, it's transparent for everyone. Mm-hmm. I also noticed like the Params audit, it's gone. It might be something related to Jake. So we will be working on to update it. I don't know if we should give it back or from the one from Jake. Oh yeah, it was done at some point, but it's gone now. I created a new issue regarding that. I don't know if it's showing somewhere. Re-upload the Params audit. And I don't know if we just should, get the one that Jake's and just post it again with another name, maybe me or whatever. But yeah, we will be thinking on that and this sprint. I mean, it's a very fast thing to do. I didn't add it to the sprint because I'm not sure if we can make it or not. But like on the next transparency call, I would like to talk about the monitoring the price, and maybe I honestly feel it's kind of transparent. We have the blog post every week, but maybe we can do something to communicate internally, or I don't know, or just thinking how to
monitor the progress. Is that what you said?
No, I didn't create the issue because it's not something we are going to It's not something that I'm 200% sure is going to happen this sprint, but it's something we are thinking on. Yeah, and I think that would be all for this sprint.
Okay, why are there two comms? Is one of these a dupe?
Oh yeah. Close
Okay.
that one because I believe Tweet have it almost done. But yeah, it still needs to be updated. If you
Okay,
have
and it
an-
doesn't come.
Oh, sorry.
So maybe the question. So this is from your perspective. Is this coming into the sprint?
I mean, it should be done today actually, or close next week.
All right. Well, let's throw it in then. And there's YouTube descriptions for each. Yeah, this is. I thought we decided this.
That's something we really need. I mean, especially when I'm uploading the YouTube with the pod, it's pretty empty, like the descriptions. I put the agenda and the attendance of the meeting, but yeah, it's pretty empty. And as soon as we could have this, I was going to bring this topic on comms next week, but
So I know that I did two of them this sprint. I did the Hatcher outreach and I did the stewards. And probably what we need is just like 1 or 2 sentences for each working group, right? So
yeah, it's pretty short. Like some of them are still missing. So yeah, that.
all right.
Which ones are missing?
I don't know. For example, I didn't saw about gravity, comms. Which one? SoftGov, I think I didn't saw any updated.
Can I just ask who's actually responsible for it? Like this is the exact situation where like 2 people are responsible for it, so nobody's really who's doing it, and that person definitely know what's missing. Right?
I think it should be every working group lead makes this 1 paragraph description, and
Yeah.
I think we're just approaching it in the wrong way with 1 issue when it should be.
No, we didn't. Should we open issues for everyone?
Oh.
Yeah, it's an epic.
Yeah, it's an epic. But then there's like 1 person that has to actually add the things to the working group, and for actually, I guess it's transparency who does that, right? Who adds the text to the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll leave it off the sprint, and I guess my feeling is that it's tough to get maybe we'll bring it up in the stewards meeting. It's tough to get everyone to pay attention to that one when there's so many other urgent things on the plate. Dan took a note. T. Wells, in his onboarding, he just had a really nice 1 or 2 sentence for every working group. They weren't a little accurate, but I think it's a really nice model to use. And maybe we could just ask the stewards if they could tweak that a little bit for their working group.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. And I think like another thing we could do regarding that issue is like maybe me and Ivy draft something fast, and when the stewards from that working group have the thing, we just put and replace. But yeah, I mean it wouldn't take that much time, honestly.
Yeah, I know. I also feel like any one of us could just write those things and just be like, "Hey, you like this for legal, Santi?" And he could just be like, "Yep." And then that's it. But if we ask him to write it, it's like it'll go on for 3 sprints. But if we write it, the legal group is responsible for all aspects of legal things regarding the TEC. Santi will just say yes, and that's sort of what I was hoping we could do. And I don't want to take it on, so I'm just letting it punch from sprint to sprint.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Tam. Yeah, we will do that. Thanks.
That would be. I'm sure that would just be the thing to finish this. Actually, I know it sounds stupid, but it took me an hour, and it's like I was like, I did it because it was on my sprint, and I was like, God damn it, I'm going to do it. But I was stressing out because there's so many other things I had to do, and I was like, but I said I would take. But it took me an hour to write it, and then I was like, hey, Eduardo, do you like this? No, okay, what about like this? So it was just like that hour of my time. I felt like, whatever. I can see other stewards being under so much stuff to do that I could see them putting that on like the bottom of the priority for the sprint. And maybe that's why they didn't get done. All right, cool. That's everything for transparency?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Hey, Chuy, how are you feeling about comms?
What you just sent me, Tam, is helping me a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Because I was just in the middle of uh, I talked to Griff about this, like, and also like it was brought up in yesterday's retrospective. So
Yeah.
we well, there are like a few stuff like that really like raised my concerns. One of these was we're being reactionary. I do like I do agree. Like I just talked about that with Ivy and Nate. Also, Craig was there. Because in the last hour, Ivy and I were putting together like a Twitter strategy to be able to be more reactionary. Like if someone is like, okay, I just put this out, like, and I forgot about it, like I need to tweet it now. So the idea would be to be able to help those stewards, and but we're just gonna be getting like a community manager for this because we want to cover the number one, which is social media management, and number two for graphic design, content creators. So
Can I just share with everyone else? Because I just, it's been like something in the back of my mind for a while. Like, comms is so broad, there's so much. And just to stop thinking about it, I quickly put down what I thought the different groups of comms were actually, to be like, yeah, this is really more like bigger than, and I sent it to Chewy maybe like 5 minutes ago. I just needed to stop thinking about it, so I had to put it on paper. Probably this is not the forum to discuss it though. Maybe we could take this to the comms call instead. And I just want to know if you're ready for us to do the sprint planning, and maybe it's helpful to sort of branch it into that. And we can even, when you decide how to organize the group, you know, create tags for each of the groups so it's a little more coordinated in ZenHub. But I don't know that this, if we use time in our sprint planning for that, we'd be able to finish our sprint planning. We already have half an hour less than usual, but since we're so few stewards here today, it's probably okay for us to like go a little bit over, but not. Maybe we can
like
save
instead of adding tags,
we have more time.
instead of adding tags, because I think it's gonna get people like even more confused, I would just start getting the content and distribution repo more formally involved. So inside the content and distribution repo, we can probably have the these tags that you're suggesting, and it's just not gonna be like more colors and categories for the sprint, because yeah, it's just like duplicates and then like old issues and stuff like that. Like yeah, I just wouldn't like to contribute to like stacking more stuff up in the main workspace.
Cool. Do you feel like you have a good idea of what we're pulling into the sprint from for this next 2 weeks from comms? I know you and I still have some, you know, onboarding to ZenHub to do, and I apologize that I haven't done a very good job at doing that. I hope to do a better job in our next sync.
No worries, Tim. For this next spring, we're gonna have the Y video done. The idea is also to have the hatch animation video ready. Also,
wait, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find them. Just give me one moment. Okay, so the Y video, and what is the other one?
And the other one is the animated video, but I haven't created an issue yet for that.
Okay, I'll throw it together quick, right? And I guess you want this one to be in the content distribution repo?
Yeah, like if it can be in both, because it's also like one of like important content. So I think it should be in the main workspace as well.
So it can only live in one repo, but the workspace looks at both repos. So that's sort of like a view of, you can have multiple views in the workspace. Okay. So when you go to the, yeah, cool. And then when you go to the content and distribution workspace that only has the content distribution repo, you'll see just the ones that are in there. But see, we could drop it and it will appear here too. and then we could drag it into the sprint.
Is there a limit to how many workspaces that can be created within ZenHub?
You can have Nate's workspace for just your stuff. And you could have different pipelines, whatever your workflow is, you know, morning, evening, you know, afternoons, weekend, you can arrange your issues however you like on your workspace.
Gotcha.
Cool. All right, what else do we have from cons? So maybe if we go,
I don't
this
know.
one is,
I don't know if there is an issue, but the hatch text, we're working on it with Lauren, Manu, and me, and then we're drafting it, and then we'll sing like I will do one, Lauren will do one, Manu will do one, and then we get all them together. But they will be independent, so everyone can be more creative. But that thing that I don't know if that's an issue, but this thing is going to get done this sprint because also Sam told to me like this thing have to get done.
and I think that was like the hat, I saw that. Where did I see it? Let's see. I feel like it was in content distribution. All right. Does anybody know where that might be? Or if it doesn't exist, can we just create it and drag it in? Oh, here, Hatch DAO content for landing page. So I guess that's this one, right?
Yeah.
This is what you're talking about? Okay. And a bunch of people have different, are also working on it, right?
Well, on the last call, I think you were also there, Tom. We decided that this Monday we will have everyone text ready, and then we will, you know, do something. Maybe I don't know, like maybe like the Lawrence is better than mine and Manu, and then we just go with this, and maybe we can just combine some stuff. But we will see Monday. But probably Monday should get done. Max 2 or 3 days.
Zach, would you mind just dropping an update in here so that it's clear like what's happening next in this issue?
Okay, yeah, I'll
Can
do.
I
What's the
do that?
number?
It's number 4.
Okay, I'll do it now.
Thanks, that'd be great.
Septi, is it due Monday? We said Monday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, what else might there be? So there's a number of small things. Okay, maybe we go through them. Let's see. Medium linked on the website is the wrong one. Oh, Chewy, I don't think I assigned that to you, but you're on it. Okay. Chewy, I guess we drag this one into the sprint backlog. It's basically just changing the medium link.
Yeah.
And then this is one that I opened. It'd be great if we could put the, you know, the Hatch Params party with Trent and Z in this place, even if it's just temporarily for a week or two while everyone's talking about the Params, maybe just for a week. Feel free to say that's a terrible idea and close it, but I thought it was maybe a good idea.
Is that up already?
Yeah, but to get to it, you have to click on videos, and then you have to scroll and look for it. If you don't know you're looking for it, you won't find it.
You want to set it as a feature video in the front page.
Yeah, I think that's probably
Okay.
what people should see, at least for the next week. You know,
I
and then
look
maybe-
into that. I look into that.
And then T-Will's presentation for TEC. What's the next step here, and is it coming into the sprint? So, so Marco left some feedback in this doc for his presentation. Is this something that we think this onboarding framework needs to come into the sprint? And I would love if we could just maybe assign this to onboarding, like maybe have Katie drive this. I don't know what you think about that. Okay. The sprint, not a priority. Maybe we just leave it in the product backlog, and if it gets done, that's great. So this is an issue that I saw too. The number 3 issue was actually, the number 3 forum post. Oh wait, what is this? This is, you did that. Oh, you did that. I opened the same issue as you, Griff. Exactly the same issue. Older posts are getting bumped repeatedly, so that the latest issues on our forum are not being seen. But I opened a epic for this called the forum, I think. Let's see, design of the forum, or maybe I just dropped it in there so that all the issues about the forum are grouped together. The polycentric governance, I think, is still being done. This Sherman, okay, so we talked about this. Chewy, I think we close this, right? And then if you can, or do you want me to leave it open until we figure out how to reach out to Sherman about a different topic? Because this post is quite outdated already.
To Jessica, and I actually wanted to ask you guys, like, would it be right if I try to contact Sherman, like on Twitter or something, like a private message, like introduce myself? Like, it's just that I really like don't want to. Probably Jessica's just so busy, you know. So, it's probably I could try to do myself. Or do you have any other like contact or way we could reach her?
Obviously, I can. Sherman and I go back like 6 years, 7 years. So,
is there any way, Griff, you could help me just to mention that to her? It's like, hey, so we saw that you wanted like to put together an article. Are you okay with that? Like, we could put you in touch with comms, supporting material, like anything you need, and work it from there.
okay, yeah.
But yeah, so probably we can close that to just like leave that of Jessica's shoulders.
Yeah, although I'm sure she'd be happy to help at least with the initial intro, but whatever way it works best is great. Sherman. To what's the word I'm looking for? Work on.
What am I asking her exactly? Just like, do you want to? They said you wanted to write an article. Like, what do you want to write it about, or what's the?
So the very quick background is she wrote this guest post in March, and it's about the TEC hatch, but it has pretty like now just outdated information. So it's no longer accurate. We couldn't publish it. But the idea is it'd still be great to have Sherman write a guest blog post on something else. So that's the.
Well, wait, why not just update it? It's too far off.
It's pretty far off when it talks about the hatch being the bonding curve and.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess that's what this issue was to update it. Could be. Could be. It seems as if updating this would be as much work as starting from scratch. Why don't I leave this open, Chewy, and you can make the decision after you have a review too? Does that sound good?
Okay, yeah, sure. How do you feel about that, Griff? Just like trying to pick up on her intention to participate.
I'm sure she would be excited to cross-promote the TEC, but I don't know what her action step is, what I'm asking her to do, other than just see if she's still interested in writing a post.
Yeah, I think that could be a great first approach. It's also like, I don't know, like how much time will it take from her, but it seems also like pretty like optional, like not as attached to like schedules and stuff like that. So I think it's a good first approach.
Okay, maybe we leave that in the product backlog, and if it gets done, that's great. But just to continue with the planning for the sprint, we'll move on from it. Is that right?
As soon as I can reach her and like start talking to her and see how I can support her for this, I would close this issue and start a new one, like with more updated information.
All right, that sounds great. Find the part of crypto news talk. There's like pulling things out of the video. Do we want to bring this into the sprint?
Yeah, let's bring it into the spring. Yeah, it's a longer video, but
Okay. And parameters working group. You want to? I think Zep, you want to take a shot at this, or should we throw it at Griff?
I can take it.
Okay. Cool. Thanks for volunteering to do that. It's very cool. Update legal working group. Do you want to give this one a try too?
Yeah, bring it to me.
All right, thanks, Zep. All right. Omega? How about Omega?
Okay, yeah. Do it.
Yeah, I mean, really, if you just put 2 sentences in front of Shebnam, I'm sure she'll either say yes or
Yeah.
I'd rather do it myself.
I'll talk with her.
SoftGov. SoftGov 2. Lydia might want to do it, but maybe I should be updating this better. Sorry.
Or we can be, I could pull off if you want me to play SoftGov. Oh, never mind.
I think what we can do is like on transparency, we like do all of them, and then if someone wants to improve it, of course, do it.
Yeah, I honestly feel like that's the way it'll get done. Support T-Wells with the onboarding module. That's coming in. Update Gravity working group. Zep, can I just, yeah, okay. I'll just drag this in just in the interest of time, and you can share it with Juan Carlos as well. Create a content map for oh, this one's not next sprint. Oh man, I'm not sorting by the right thing. YouTube description for each working group, polycentric, the T-Wells presentation is staying. The email situation for the TEC, it feels like Craig has that totally under control. And SEO, I know you guys have under control. Create a short post about how the TEC uses the trusted seed.
Yeah, so this was a risk that was brought up by Zargam, that when looking at the membership ratio, like, there's a sensitivity to the TEC being like just a way for the common stack to make money. And so which of course it's not, it is a way is to advance token engineering. And so we just have to better, like, maybe make like a really short targeted post that says, like, has a couple links to some background information, and then and why the trusted seed is great, and maybe talk about like what they hope to achieve by using the trusted seed and why it makes sense. And it would go well with like, I think it could be written now, but then we just have some blanks for like that we don't publish it until after the choice was made. Well, I don't know, it's up to you guys. But it could be, if it was published before, like during the vote, that would also be cool, just to talk about membership ratio and the trusted seed. Might be an interesting like highlight. Yeah. Whoever takes this issue on, I'm very happy to support. I just can't carry this.
I think it'd be interesting to use it as a narrative for the cultural build. It's like finding value-aligned individuals is like the cornerstone of building that cultural component.
Yeah, I like that. I like that angle for sure.
Okay. Oh, this is coming into, but this is Hatcher Outreach, but I'll pull it in. I'm looking at the content and distribution board now, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Is there anything from here that you want to pull in that maybe wasn't tagged? Communication to Hatchers, general forum post, review content, a Git book.
You can
article that
close
we're-
26. Mitch finished that. It's under product backlog.
Yeah, I thought so too. Okay. Why? I'm worried that maybe he doesn't have permissions to close it himself, because that happened with Zep, and I had to fix that.
Huh. I'm pretty sure he's got permissions. Well, I don't know in the content distribution board.
Yeah. Oh, I should have asked. Darn it. Okay.
But
Meme parties.
he also just had he's like kind of on vacation.
Meme for Hatch Param parties. Is this coming in?
You can close it. He already did it.
All right. Update closing. All right, cool.
He made a meme for every param. The hero.
Awesome. Create a content map for the TEC. This was an idea of that Jessica suggested, something similar to what Common Stack is doing. I don't know, maybe we don't do anything with this unless you feel like it's a huge priority. It's basically just a repository for evergreen content. It's a really nice to have, but maybe not the most important thing in terms of like communication right now. But you tell me, Chewy, should we leave it in the product backlog?
I'm sorry. What issue was this, Tab?
Creating a content map for the TEC. It came from Jess, and she gives an example here of the Common Stack has a basically a, what is it called, Notion space, where we have a lot of evergreen content. And the suggestion was to do something for the TEC similar to that. I think probably with everything on your plate this sprint, maybe that one doesn't need to be done this sprint, or we could ask for contributor help. Oh, help on
Is there any way that the board that I was working on, like, is like the new version, like fulfilling this issue, or do you think it's a different thing?
No, this is more like a repository. So it's a space where
Okay.
someone can come and see all these evergreen content pieces by the TEC. So it's
Okay.
you know different, a little different than Medium because it'll have different sources.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So.
Have a look at it. I don't
Probably.
know that it's like it's a good idea, but I don't know that we need to pull it into this sprint.
What number is it again?
5.2.
Okay, I'll take a look.
And this one, Nate, this one you said is done, but then I thought maybe you don't have permissions. Is this one closable? It's phrasing clarification about the CSDK tokens.
Throughout the other posts, yeah, that's been done a while ago.
Yeah, cool. I can close it.
My apologies. Yeah, I think we kept it up there just because we didn't know what other documents we were trying to track. What documents needed to be changed,
Cool.
and I didn't have
And-
access to like website and stuff.
Cool. And this is sort of like stored somewhere, like this new phrasing.
Yeah, I have a working style guide. Yeah, so
Right.
templates.
Cool. All right. Let me bring the other one in. All right. Did I miss anything, Chewy, from comms that is important that should come in?
Not that I know of, but I'll be working on the board over the weekend.
Okay, cool.
So
Cool.
if there are any updates, probably by Monday, we're gonna start with another board.
Okay. All right. So just for like, I know you're new to our sprint planning too. What we usually do is plan the sprint all together on Fridays. I mean, on the end of the sprint. So it's like Thursday, we'll have the retrospective, and then on Friday, we'll have the sprint planning. And that way we sort of have mutual accountability of everyone says what they're going to work on. And then when we do the retrospective, we sort of say what went well and what didn't. I know I really failed at onboarding you to Zen Hub and Scrum, so I'm taking full responsibility for this, and I apologize. And in our next syncs, we'll spend more time doing the Zen Hub and maybe be talking more about how we do sprint planning and sprinting in TEC. Cool.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that, but I mean the main stuff that we're working on, the Manu's video and all of that, like well, the like the main stuff is already here.
Okay.
But yeah, like regarding like small updates, like the one with YouTube and stuff like that, I'll work on that.
Okay, cool.
Video for Monday. So it's already here. Video done 100% on Monday.
Cool. And I'm just going to take a pause to share, if you want to see it, it's in the link here, also, of course, in GitHub, just what the new default issue will be like. The idea is to better incorporate advice process into our like daily work streams, to be clear about what what does the end look like? How do we know when this issue is actually done? So success criteria, and then have a space for people to keep informed, right? So we're not going to assign 4 people to something, but we'll assign 1 person and say, you know, the people who need to be in the loop about this issue are here. And then when you go to GitHub notifications, if you're mentioned in an issue, that will be listed here, or participating in an issue. So you can actually go and see things that you were atted at or mentioned in. Please feel free to give me feedback about this. I thought we would wait a few days to get some more feedback on it and then just publish them. And then the same idea, so it's sort of like, what's the issue about? Like, define what done is, what is the success criteria, who needs to be part of advice process, who should be consulted on this issue, on the solving of this issue, what the links are that people need to know, and then who should be in the loop. And then for contributor, something similar, to warmly welcome the contributors, to let them know how to get help, where and from who, and to identify the steward who's going to support and review the issue, and then have the steward tagged so they can see that the issue's been taken. This is sort of the warm welcome, the community steward that's responsible to review the work, what the issue's about. Again, like, how do we know when it's done? What's the expectation? And then who should be part of the advice process and any other things. To think about, only new issues. So creating new issue templates doesn't retrofit existing issues. So only new issues will have that format. And probably we're going to set it up. I think I'm planning to do it on Monday. So we're starting a new sprint and we could start with these new templates as well. All right. Hey, Griff, do you want to do params?
Yes, I do.
Do you mind?
Yeah, so encourage people to vote. That's definitely something that's going to be happening.
All right. I'm with you.
Okay, so encourage people to vote with token log. That's the big one this week. Then we're going to take the chosen hatch params and make a new spec. And so then it's like, oh, look, because I mean, we have the spec. It's just like literally copy paste some numbers and publish. We're definitely going to work on the ABC a lot, the CDD ABC spec. I hope to get it to a good place. I don't think I'll finish it, but I will finish the brainstorm. I think I'm okay with it being in the sprint backlog, but it probably won't get fully spec. Like, it'll be like the first draft of the spec will be done. Not the CV brainstorm though. There's an ABC brainstorm somewhere.
Oh, I thought that's when I brought it. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay.
That's the most important thing. We really need to make sure that people understand that as soon as possible that the hatch DAO will then become a bonding curve, and that there will be a difference in the price that they pay in the hatch and the price during the for the bonding curve. I want to make sure that that is abundantly clear. So we're going to put all of our efforts into making sure that we have something for the ABC Commons dashboard sections of the Commons dashboard, so people can touch it. You know, and it'll probably just be designs or something, but that's really the main goal for the next several weeks. And of course, getting everything else up too, but that's the top priority. There's.
So do you want to pull in the ABC spec, like, and just change it as get started, or just leave it in the product backlog?
We can leave it in the product backlog.
Okay.
I know I'm going to focus on it. So. Right mapping specs, the YGG, that's in progress, and I believe that it's almost done. And same with the other YGG, the actual CAD models. I think both of those. This is kind of the preliminary work that has to be done on the ABC to get it there. And the rest, I think the rest is gonna be like nice to have for the most part. Although I thought, is there something more somewhere? What do we have in new issues?
No, not.
Yeah, no, that's probably it.
Cool. You want to do Commons Swarm if there's anything for them here? I know you're managing workflow there on a different board.
Yeah, I added some things for this board though. There's some interesting things. So update the spec for the test style. This is different than the other issue that we just talked about because it's a different spec, but still. So like just maintaining accurate specifications for everything. I'm gonna start having more one-on-ones with SEM, 694. So you can just throw that in the sprint backlog. They're scheduled for 6 a.m. on Monday.
Where is it?
694 under product backlog.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, and close all hatch issues. Definitely. I mean, I think there's just one lingering. And then the big one is this prepare next demo. And while everyone's here, I don't know if you could just open that really quick. The plan for the next demo is to have it on XDAI, but have it with, instead of wrapped XDAI, we'll just use some fake tokens, and we'll just airdrop everyone 1 million fake tokens and let them have the experience of, well, once we, this is just to prepare it. Obviously, we won't have the final parameters soon enough to launch the demo, but the target date to launch the demo would be Thursday the 27th. And this would be the last demo that we do before the hatch. This is the last one, and we'll use the real hatch parameters, but we'll, instead of using XDAI, we'll just use fake DAI, and we'll just airdrop everyone $1 million worth of fake tokens and let them participate in the hatch. And we'll make maybe the hatch will only be 2 days, and then upgrade and stuff, and we'll do the whole process with these fake tokens. We'll get to see what the impact hour rates turns out to be, and we'll get to see all this cool stuff with the real parameters. So the only parameters we're going to modify are the day parameters.
Okay. It seems if we are doing the final dress rehearsal on the 27th, we are not going to be able to hatch before the beginning of June.
We could if there's no issues found, we could probably, the demo could be over on that weekend. But yeah, we'd probably want to launch on the 3rd, something like that.
Yeah, okay. All right, cool. Good to know. I will communicate that in my communications, that we're not on track for the end of March, but we're on track for Sprint 11. That's what we are on track for.
It depends on what we talk about in this next meeting, on when we want to end the date, have the end date. If we want to end the discussion over hatch params, on Tuesday, then and have the vote real quick, then we can launch.
Yeah, okay, I understand. All right, cool. So we only really have then Hatcher outreach, and I can give an update on that. Eduardo was not able to join us today. So the TEC live visual explainer, which is the third part of after the phase 1 and 2, the one pager, I got really derailed this week. I'd hoped it would be this week, and it isn't. And I think it will certainly be next sprint. Hatch outreach group sessions I want to start having. because these one-on-ones are very difficult to coordinate. And I think that having, maybe 5 to 10 people will work as well now as we're so close. I'm not sure what Eduardo is planning, so I'll leave those. I'll leave those alone, and then the regular Hatch outreach continue on the one-on-ones, and that's really it for Hatcher outreach. There is this, these Param parties was like a big incentive for, I would say, Hatch outreach, for people to become involved. A lot of the people that I've reached out to have come back and given me feedback about these Param parties. So I honestly think that was like the biggest Hatch outreach week of them all. Even though we weren't doing one-on-one sessions that week, we were taking time to focus on explainers. But I think it was still a very good week. And I don't think there's anything in Stewart. Let's see if we have, yeah, it's just finishing these. Oh yeah, good news. The TEC swag shop. There was momentum, but it was like start, stop, start, stop. We have a dev working on it who's really pulled for time, and he's focused on another project. He and Christopher has tried to take it on, but there's a lot of DevOps that's sort of beyond his skill set of DevOps. So they met or the 3 of us met one morning, the 2 of them met another morning, and it's moving along. It has to be done this sprint. So, I mean, it has to be done next week. What?
Who is it?
Ludo?
Ludo's taking it on?
No, Christopher is taking it on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But the DevOps part is sort of beyond what he is familiar with. And while they were trying to do a session to pass it on, there came some issues that Ludo has to go back and work on alone. And then we'll try to pass it on to Christoph again. So I think it's actually quite complicated. The goal is to have, a recording of how to do this so that we can pass it on to someone else. And if there's an issue with the swag shop, then we don't get bottlenecked. And the GitHub issue these are done. We'll just launch them on Monday. And maybe we'll quickly go and pull things from the sprint backlog. Oh yeah, there's some things else. So we don't have a champion for this. And I wonder, I asked Vi if he could take it on. I don't think he's in this meeting now. So it's basically like, hey, can somebody just monitor Discord and see if people are still getting stuck? There's still people getting stuck this sprint, and I don't know what the right thing is, but who's paying attention to it? And I asked Vi if he could take it. I made it a repeating thing, and it should be repeating, but first we have to give it somebody to own it. What do you guys think in terms of who can own Discord onboarding? Or at least just checking to see what's happening.
If IPIB wants, I think he's the perfect guy. He's like the Discord god.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. All right, I don't want to assign it to myself, but I will assign it to myself to find somebody who would kindly champion this for us.
Thanks, Sam.
No problem. Yeah, I think I just need to contact him in Discord, but it hasn't been one of the things that's in my top priorities. So I'll pull in all of the repeating ones. The proposal squad. Griff, you're still on Hatcher Outreach. Do you still want me to keep this open?
No, you can close it.
Yay, finally, cool. Okay, cool.
I'm saving all my Hatcher Outreach for our 28-day. It seems like there's a pretty good consensus on a month-long hatch, so I'll just do it during the hatch. And that's when people really will care, so.
Yeah. Okay, I can pull in all of these repeating later. Hatch launch, we don't have a plan. I was hoping maybe Jessica could take this on. Any other thoughts? Anybody want to take the lead on what our party is going to be, or our celebration?
Chu was saying we should all fly to Mexico.
Oh, I'm on that.
I was about to say everyone should come to the hive.
I can't. I'm not. Half of us aren't allowed in your Schengen zone, unfortunately. Is that?
Yeah, that's sad.
All right,
Tam can come, that's for sure.
I can go.
Like seriously, the Mexico thing, anytime, just let me know.
I mean, it would be kind.
I'm in
It would
for
be.
that.
It would be kind of interesting to maybe have like a Europe gathering spot and an America's gathering spot, you know, and have like simultaneous parties or something in person. I think that would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
In the month of June.
Hmm.
Okay. I think what we're just missing is the person who wants to say, I will figure out what we'll be doing. Okay, I'll leave it in the sprint backlog. I'll bring it up in the stewards meeting and keep bringing it up until we get someone. So the new visual explainer is pretty awesome, but we have to now update it in a bunch of places. I guess I'll take it on. Forum posts, this is the same one as, this is the same one that Griff opened. Who's taking this on?
Does anyone own the forum?
No, you assigned it to Chewy, but I mean, this sort of goes back to this idea of like, there's really 6 departments in comms, you know? And I think we should just try to figure out like who's the key contact for, however this ends up getting distributed, like who's the key contact for the forum, for Twitter, for, you know, design, for branding, or however we do it. But it's, yeah, I feel bad assigning it to Chewy. I feel bad assigning everything to you. I feel like you're going to get overwhelmed. But maybe you take this on too?
No, it's okay, Tom. Yeah, I mean, I need to find ways to start delegating it, and just it being there it's a good reminder to get someone, because yeah, like I need to go to specific things.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes, I'll take that.
I mean, we have so many people coming to the comms calls on Tuesday. I'm sure if we, you know, the one thing I would say is don't like leave this open space, you know, just like mark it for contributors in advance and then like just pass it around and be like, hey, are there any of these issues that anyone wants to take on? Let's do a round.
Cool. Okay. So I know it's a dupe, Chewy, but because it has extra information, I think I'll leave it and then you can close them both.
You can close mine too if you'd like.
Yours, maybe we just leave them both open so you can see the pretty screenshots. Yeah, sorry, my Zen Hub is crashed.
Music stopped too. Did the internet die?
Oh, is it? All right, let's try again. Chewy, it's like Zen Hub does not want me to assign this to you. I'm going to bring it into the sprint backlog, but I'm not going to try to assign it to you again. Source cred data review slash what?
What issue number is that?
693.
693.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm assigning it to myself.
And there's also, you know, the epic design of the forum. I'm just dropping everything related to the forum in that epic. So Katie's working with Vi on making, you know, that start here less necessary to read words and more clear to click on the, like to click to agree to be recorded and click on the checkbox. And then let's join here message. Review feedback. Okay, we saw that one. Okay, and SoftGov, I think we'll have to do early next week. And legal will have to do early next week. And Gravity too. Yeah. Yeah, this was a very strange. I feel like half of our team was in here at this sprint planning, and I think we're gonna have to do make up for that on Monday. Cool. All right. So I just want to see that I didn't miss anything. All of the repeating. We'll go into our sprint backlog. And I just want to have a quick look to see if anything was missed. Okay. This one is a duplicate too. We could deal with that later. Cool. So this is our sprint 10, our 10th sprint. Very exciting. And the last thing to do is to choose a name for it. So I'll go around the room. I think we have a few minutes left before we start the Params top vote review. And maybe just like, I don't know, a moment to say what you think about the sprint and offer a name if you have one. And I'll pass to you, Griff.
I can start, I guess. Is that okay? There was something about like I didn't fully like it because it was like state, like the transition to the state, and it's like, ooh, the state. No. We just want the people to be involved, in economic decision making. But I feel like there's this monumental thing that we're doing right now, and I'm biased because it's my working group. But this like something around this idea of like transitioning from the monarchy style of economics to the like democracy, to actually holding our economic rulers and our economic like decision makers accountable to the people, and separating it from the state still. I don't want the last thing I want to do is say, oh yeah, let's give all economic power to the state. Like, no, that's not really what we're trying to say either. It's just that your economy, your choice, for a title. And then as far as the sprint goes, it was a great sprint. Like, I feel like this sprint with the Param parties, everyone, I think we gained such a larger awareness of what token engineering is, and could get a sense of the gravity of the impact of token engineering on the economies that we're designing, and how valuable it can be. And I don't think that, at least like as the community building it, I don't think we had that like as strongly understood as we do right now. And we just made leaps in that. And everyone's a token engineer now. So that's really cool. And I'll pass it to Craig.
Yeah, hello. Right, so I haven't been on the board, and I've been fully distracted, and I've stepped away several times to answer that question. Yeah, I agree with Griff. The sprint has been really powerful and exciting, and the Param parties were the big driver for that. I find myself cycling between slightly overwhelmed and completely overwhelmed, and this cycle was maybe a little bit of both. But that's a good thing. I don't mean that in a negative way. Just keep the information coming, and yeah, your economy, your choice. I don't have a strong vote for a name for the sprint, and I'll pass it to Zepti.
Thanks, Craig. Yeah, for the title, I was also, like, your economy, your choice, but, it would be like version 3, like we use that title a lot. But if we could come up with something like to engage the community to vote, like your economy, your choice is the strongest I can think right now. But yeah, regarding the sprint, yeah, I think it was super cool. Like I feel like the community overall start to understand all these parameters and how they interact with each other. So yeah, super cool. I'll pass it to Ivy.
Oh no, this is the most challenging task for me and Sam every week to think of the sprint name. I think I would choose something about voting, just to just to
Ivy, your audio is
make
coming
like
in and out.
promote it more and encourage people to practice their exercise their right to vote, something like that. So yeah. Oh no. Oh.
Ivy,
Yeah,
your audio is coming in and out.
just something about voting.
Okay.
And I pass it to. Hello, can you hear me now?
No, not very well. I'm gonna pass it to Nate.
Yeah, it's something about just
Okay.
about Nate about voting. And
Ivy, you're on mute and you're still talking. I think it's because of the delay. This happens on my one-to-one sync with Ivy.
yeah, sure.
Okay, maybe Nate take it.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't really have a strong preference for the name. I do think it should have to do something with the kind of the choosing of the hatch parameters. So maybe not voting. I don't know, inauguration or I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough one. But I'm gonna have to pass on that one. I will pass it to Mount Manu.
Thanks, Nate. I don't have a suggestion for a name. I go with what Griff said about transitioning into a more type of grassroots economic decision making, but then grassroots economics, something else entirely different. So something along those lines. And I'll pass it back to you, Sam.
Cool, and I'll pass to Chewy.
TEC versus the Technocracy Gojira.
What gojira means?
It's like these it's from, I don't know if anime was the first thing or it's like a manga actually, but probably you'll be better at that than me, Septi, but like that's what the Japanese call the big monsters that come out of the sea, like Godzilla, or just like epic monsters that need to be fought with giant robots. Gojira. It's Gojira.
It's awesome.
Oh, wow.
I never
Right.
heard about that, but it's awesome.
Cool. All right, and I guess I'll wrap it up. Oh, thanks. Or did you want to say something about the previous sprint or the next sprint, Chewy?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, cool. I like the TEC versus the Technocracy as a name. Also, maybe encouraging voting for the first part. But yeah, I think it merits more thinking. I look at the sprint and I'm trying to see like what is the thing that we're doing, and it's sort of just like going forward. Like we keep going. It's sort of like keep marching is what comes to my mind, actually. And then I'd say for the last sprint, God, it was so much excitement around the Param parties. I'm thinking, and maybe this is a question I can ask now, are we doing the same thing for, like, are we having voting parties? I saw some message about voting parties, like we're gonna do the same thing, like vote, like Param debates and voting parties going through the next vote. Is that correct?
I mean, this is what we're going to talk about in the next call. Like, I don't know. What should we do? Yeah, but I'm definitely down to host some voting parties and some debates. Have different people take different things and just like work through them. And yeah.
Send Griff coffee.
All right. So I don't know that we chose a name. Unless somebody feels really strongly about, unless everyone feels really strongly about these, maybe I'll come back. I'll come back with a name over the weekend. And then we have a few minutes before the next call starts. Is there stuff we want to talk about while we have half of the stewards here and the other half in training courses?
Hey, Tam, what is the next call that's being referenced?
Oh, the next call is we are reviewing the top parameters that were the top voted parameters, and we'll come back with the parameters for the runoff.
Oh, just that. Okay. Yeah, cool. Thanks. I need to look at my schedule.
Cool. All right. I am probably gonna. We have all of us here. Is there anything else anyone wants to bring up to discuss for the next 10 minutes? Can you guys hear that sound? It sounds like an engine. It's my computer making these engine sounds, and I'm very nervous right now that it's just gonna explode. I'm gonna try to kill
Oh
something.
no!
See if it's like,
Yeah,
like super loud.
I thought it was a car.
me
Yeah,
too.
that's my computer right now, and it's never done this before. So I'm gonna go on mute and try to take care of that. Griff, I'll pass to you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Ivy, I feel like Ivy, it's very late for you, but you're here, and I want to make sure that you have space if your internet connection is good enough to say anything, or if you're gonna stay up for this, the next 2 hours. Like, what's your status, Ivy?
I just attended the sprint planning, but I'm gonna I'm just finishing the TC, join the HashCon, the next call.
Ooh. I couldn't totally hear what you said for the next call. Were you going to join or no?
Oh no, maybe not.
Well,
Oh.
just while we have you, can you repeat your thoughts on this? Because you were looking at the results and you do have strong opinions. And since you're going to bail, I would just be curious to hear what your answers are to a few questions like,